the will of the moment has a different kind of quality in our felt, like kinesthetic experience than a will that's based on grasping or aversion. So you can feel inside when you become more sensitive, when you have a gaining agenda that feels like it's even some version of a strain or a push. Now, there are times when it's appropriate to kind of gather our inner resources and our energy and apply ourselves. I'm not really speaking about that. But when there's a sense of really trying to push the river, and we may have a feeling of like tunnel vision, where we feel like we can't let in the input of others or their needs or concerns or ideas or contributions to what is before the group of us, then you can feel it in your system, this kind of dogged push to make something happen that I want. And there's this kind of contraction inside of like, I want this. And that kind of personal will can often become more problematic to ourselves or to others around us, or usually both. So when we spend time in quiet meditation, there's an opportunity to let the energy in our system come to rest and settle. And when we have a meditation that's not just sort of top heavy with the mind's ideas of what meditation should be, but one that also includes the whole system and invites a sense of not only the mind, but also the body to come into a greater state of peace and stillness, then we can have this experience of all the push and pull and stirrings of energy in the body that happen throughout our day, with especially one's personal agendas or feeling like we have to take on the agendas of others. These energies can come to rest. And when they come to rest, it's much like, the silt in a murky pond settling to the bottom. And the result is an experience and a participation in abiding in clear waters of being. And so when we're committed to a practice of meditation, or in our own ways engage in activities that are meditative, there's a way that we can partake more in abiding in these clear waters of being. And when that happens, then we can become more sensitive to when we kind of reflexively go into investments in egoic agendas that feel really pushed by a sense of personal will. So it would be easy or understandable if, after hearing everything I've just said, if you were to walk away from this talk thinking, personal will is bad, abiding in the moment is good, or what we might call the will of the moment, a kind of clear, conscious participation in what's occurring in the moment in a more present way, hearing what others have to say, considering various influxes of knowledge or facts or things like that, then, but also just allowing a lot of what's unfolding to reveal itself to you, then you could really walk away with this sense that this will of the moment is good and personal will is bad. I try to to not make the ego structure that's predicated on agenda or push and pull. I really try not to just completely jettison it, because sometimes at the very heart of something that's really driving our will is something that we deeply value. And when we're conscious of what that is, and we really can see that and get to know that more clearly, then we have a lot of possibilities of how we meet attending to that deep value or that matter of great importance to us. And when we become more conscious of what's at the heart of something that's driving us, then we can start to almost have like this blending of what we might call the will of the moment and conscious recognition of how the moment or the circumstances are unfolding, including what's unfolding within us as an individual and our concerns and our needs or our wants or our preferences. And it's not always the case that all of those have to be relegated to the side in order to attend in a more present way to others around us or to the sense of how the moment's unfolding absent of that consideration of ourselves. So it's nice when the mind has something really tidy, like the pointer that says, not my will, but thy will. And that is tidy. And it's valuable to explore that in a deep way. But it's also can be valuable to not completely make any sense of egoic self, like, the fall guy or the bad guy. But to have the goal really to be more conscious, to be more open-eyed and clear seeing about what's important and what's unfolding that needs attending to or needs to be rectified or needs to be, advocated for or whatever it might be.